All right, what's going on, everybody? This is Pampara back here on YouTube. I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to watch my videos. The thing I'm gonna be talking about today is there's 3 things I think that hold men back the most. Just listen to these 3 things. And the last one, I promise you, is the one you need to hear. The first mistake that I myself have made countless times is having a lack of structure. A lack of structure, in my eyes, is actually broken down more into a lack of understanding what it is you're trying to achieve and then training accordingly. Instead of just walking in the gym and saying, well, my regimen that I found online or that ChatGPT made for me or that I think I watched one of my favorite YouTubers do says bench press 3 sets, 12 reps. And then you just go in there, you load up an arbitrary amount of weight. You're like, yeah, that looks like it's big weight. Let me lift that. And then you do it 12 times, then you rack it, you wait a sec, you do it 12 times, you rack it. Like, did you ever at any point think, why am I doing the bench press? And this is what I'm saying. The first thing you should be doing is establishing for yourself what it is you want to achieve. If you want to get way bigger, if you want to be super fast, what I'm saying, your training plan should be dictated based on what your initial goal was. So the first thing you need to do to address the mistake of lacking structure is figure out what your actual end goal is, and then use all your resources that you've been using without any real direction to put together a training plan that makes the most sense for you. You can't just go in there and spin your wheels and kind of just try and figure it out by the day as soon as you walk in. You should know what you're doing long term to achieve your goals, and then short term every time you go in the gym. That's problem 1. Problem 2 is that you're not training hard enough. Now that sounds rough. That sounds like, well, yeah, it is. I show up to the gym all the time. And let me just tell you something about your body. Quick biology lesson, okay? If your body is not consistently put under enough stress to force it to grow and change, it's not gonna grow and change. So what does that mean in the grand scheme of achieving your goals? If you're not pushing your body to where it's actually difficult every time you're in the gym or wherever it is you train, you're not going to see the end results because you're missing the factor that forced a change upon your body. Apply this to yourself now. Think about your last 5 training sessions. How many of those 5 did you leave the gym being like, that was truly difficult for me to do? If you can't honestly say that the majority of your training sessions were absolutely grueling for you, were very difficult for you to endure, you're probably not growing towards achieving your goals. How do you fix that problem? The way you fix that problem, believe it or not, is just by training harder. There's a million ways you can do that. You can add volume, you can add weight if it's weightlifting, you can try and cut your times down if it's like running or swimming. The point is, you're never going to come closer to achieving your end vision we mentioned in the first problem if every time you go to the gym, it's not difficult for you to achieve. Your body does not grow unless it has a reason to. This applies to real life too. If you can't have the discipline to push yourself in the gym in order to achieve a long-term goal, what makes you think that you're going to be able to do that in real life? Problem 2, you're not training hard enough. Now that we have problems 1 and 2 out of the way, number 3 is, like I said in the beginning of this video, probably the most prevalent issue that I've seen over the course of my career for myself, and it's probably the biggest reason you aren't seeing the progress you want to make. The problem is that you are not a fit person. What do I mean by that? What I actually mean is that you don't see yourself as a fit person. That's a little bit difficult to understand, but let me put it to you this way. Think about all the times you walked past a piece of cake or a dessert on the counter and immediately folded because you're like, I worked out today, I deserved it. Your alarm goes off and you're like, oh, gym time, I'm just so tired. I went to the gym 5 days this week already and I just don't really want to go. So you turn the alarm off, you go back to sleep. That is way too common of an issue. And if I was just to tell you that that was the issue in and of itself, I'd be lying to you. The issue is you don't identify as someone who wouldn't even think of skipping their cardio, cheating on their diet, or not getting their lifting session in early morning. Once you start doing that, once you start identifying yourself as a person who is the thing you say you want to become, your eyes start opening to see all the things that you've been missing previously that you could have been doing to become that person. Then, once you start taking advantage of all of those little things that popped up, over time, it won't even become something you have to tell yourself anymore. It will just become part of who you are. Then you get to a point where it's like, it's not even a question to me when, I didn't have time for my cardio session at lunch, so I have to do it in the evening. I just come home and I do my cardio because that's what a fit person does. That's what a man who's dependable does. He doesn't just give in at the slightest inconvenience. If you didn't solve this problem by saying, I'm a fit person. Every single day I wake up and I'm going to act in accordance with what a fit person does. Until I become that fit person, You're not gonna be ready when the time comes. You're not gonna be dependable. No one's gonna be able to rely on you to solve the problem at hand, and that's gonna be a bad day for you. To wrap up, I'm just gonna reiterate. I've made all of these 3 mistakes many times over the course of my 7 years of experience. As a recap, the first mistake is lacking structure. Not lacking structure in the sense that you need to go buy somebody's course, lacking structure in the sense that you don't know why it is you're working out. You need to figure that out, and then you need to come up with a plan in accordance with what it is you want to achieve and stick to that consistently over time. The second problem is that you're not training hard enough. What you do every single day is not difficult enough for you to see the results you want to see. Nobody wants to cut their calories below maintenance so that they can ensure they're losing the weight. Nobody wants to do 2 sessions a day because you don't have time to fit cardio in on your lunch break. Do it anyways, because you're not going to grow unless you push yourself past your limit, past what you know you're capable of doing. Otherwise, your body has no reason to change if you're not forcing it to do something it's never done. Problem number 3, the most important one, the most important thing you need to embody today to make the changes you want to see in your life is you are not the person you say you want to become. You don't act like the person you say you want to become. Everything that comes your way that's a minor inconvenience or just seems like a little shortcut to take, you take it because that's the easy thing to do. And it's the thing you would do, but it's not the thing the person you say you want to be would do. So how do you solve it? Once again, because this is the most important thing of all. You start saying to yourself every single day when you wake up in the mirror, I am the fit person. I am the one who's strong. I am the one who's fast. I'm the one who's an athlete. I'm the one who's going to take care of business when life requires it of me. Once you start doing that, you start to see all of these ways in which you could have in the past been acting in accordance with what you say your vision is. You start acting on those things, they become habits. Eventually, you become that person. Those 3 things are exactly why most guys are just going to quit after they hit their first plateau. But if you can change these 3 things, especially the last one, that's exactly why you and I are going to make it, because we understand that's what it takes to achieve your goals as far as it pertains to fitness. That's all I got for you guys today. If you guys like this kind of content, if you agree with the message I'm trying to spread to the world, go ahead and give me a like and a subscription. I greatly appreciate it. Leave a comment. Follow me on Instagram, pump_para as well. I appreciate your time. I'll see you guys next time.